You open your eyelids from your slumber and almost shut them just as instantly. Even with your eyelids closed, you can make out a rather bright light surrounding you. A few minutes pass, then your vision becomes acclimated to the ambient light. You open your eyes and find yourself seated behind a desk in a rather opulent office. You blink twice, unsure of just what is going on. However, when you examine your desk, you see that it has an engraved nameplate at the front. Looking straight down, you see that you were involved in a bunch of paperwork, all filled with your handwriting. However, if you try to make out further details, everything starts to blur. You are slightly startled by a semi-loud thump, and you find yourself hugging your arms close to your breasts as a flow of rather cold air chills you to the bone. Must be the air conditioning. When you look down, you realize that your clothes are missing all of a sudden. However, the dark splotches on your body seem more vivid in the bright office. Also, you're late for your final exams and you haven't studied. That's when you hear a knock at your office door. Unknown voice. May I come in? Are you decent? That's a loaded question right now. Try to cover up, try to hide, ask who is it? Yeah, I know. Who is it? They're not saying anything. Who is it? You decide to try and buy some time as much as possible. Who is it? You know perfectly well who it is. A shadows comes in. Even if you can't see who it is, somehow it seems familiar, like you've met it before. Yeah, it is kind of weird in English. I just realized if it was a single shadow, it should be comes in, but if it's shadows, it should be shadows came in. Anyway, I'm afraid that as interesting as your current state of dress is, Miss Lawrence, it will not be enough for you to keep your job. Job? That's exactly what I'm talking about. You've been very absent-minded lately. Sleeping on the job, terrorizing your co-workers, cannibalizing delivery personnel. Oh, she works for Amazon. What? See, you're just proving my point. It's a shame, really, because when I first chose you, you seemed to have a bright future ahead of you, but now? Wait, who are you? Show me your face. Tut-tut, blaming others for your shortcomings. To think all of your potential wasted. You feel a surge of anger rush through you, and your left hand clenches into a fist. What do you intend to do with that? Lower your fist, threaten the shadow. I don't know, actually. It's kind of hard to see. And, hey, glad to have you back in the chat, Insomniosis. Okay, well, we got 2 for threaten and 1 for lower. So are you saying lower your fist? Okay, so we got 2 for threaten, 2 for lower. You know what? I think I'm going to go lower. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Insomniosis. With great effort, you managed to lower your fist, but the antipathy you feel towards your boss hasn't lowered one bit. That's when things go from bad to worse. You hear a loud thump and feel a lightness in your arm. Looking down, you see that your hand has fallen onto the desk, no longer attached to your wrist. Here we go again. I know this news must be upsetting to you, but pull yourself together. At least show some dignity. Pull yourself together, huh? And what would you know of dignity? I'm not the one who falls to pieces at every little event. You will be given an hour to gather your belongings. Anything left behind will be disposed of. The shadows points at your fallen appendage. Including that. Now, do you have anything to say for yourself? Shake your head, give him a few choice words, and hey, look at the arm's gone. The fist is gone. Alright, shake your head or give him a few choice words. Don't know. Well, looks like we're going with choice words. You start to say a few choice words, but all that comes out of your mouth is growl, which seems to rise from the pit of your stomach. That's what I thought. It's a shame, really, but all of this could have been avoided if you just submitted. Submitted? Just remember, you brought this on yourself. You start to say one more thing when a beeping sound wakes you from your slumber. To die, to sleep, perchance to dreams. You wonder if you should get up or not. Then you notice Nick sleeping by your side, head resting on your leg. You look so peaceful, it'd be ashamed to disturb him. Then your dog yawns and you yawn in return, eyes drooping when darkness closes in. Your supervisor complimented you, a job well done, helping customers on a Saturday. A fair few, from what I understand. Okay. Alright, well, let's see. We don't have a lot of money, and I don't know what other gifts we could possibly get for Victor, but probably go out on a date. Let's go to the beach again, maybe. That's cheap enough. I think because part of you relaxing involves you buying a new game off of Steam or whatever the equivalent is. Okay, so let's do a date. Hey, you know what? Let's go back to the movies and try a different movie this time. Okay, so we know the sci-fi movie is not going to turn out well. So should we watch a romance movie, a comedy movie, or a martial arts movie? Romance? Romance. Okay. Romance it is. As the film proceeded, you notice Victor taking down... Oh, for God's sakes. As you notice Victor taking down a copious number of notes. When you asked, he blushed as he said that while the movie was a secondary source at best, at least he had a better idea on what you might find romantic. And hey, social alignment up! I think we picked probably the right guy to get with here. You toss and turn, but you're having another night of unrestful sleep, and when you finally do wake up, it feels like you only got an hour or two of rest. I know that feeling well, and I'm not actually cursed, unless you consider insomnia a curse. You glance over at your clock and you do a double take. The time is much as you expect it would be, but the date is a few days farther ahead than you remember. You rub your eyes and take a second look, and the date remains the same. So does the song. You take a deep breath, and as you sit on the edge of the bed. First, I think I'm losing my mind. Now I'm literally losing days. Maybe I fell through a wormhole. Sensing your distress, Nick approaches you and hesitates as he takes a deep sniff of the air. He seems a little bit uncertain, then gingerly moves toward you. Okay, no problem, insomniosis. Whenever a choice comes up, if I don't hear from you in, a little bit of time, then I'll go on ahead. You reach out and scratch his ears. Nick responds by thumping his leg on the bed under your ministration. You can spell a word like ministration properly, but you can't put basic articles in the sentences. What the hell? While you are getting dressed, you hear a feminine voice come from downstairs, a voice you've only heard recently on the phone. Caitlin, I'm home. Mona. You finish by pulling on your top and head on down. Hey, Mom, you're back early. Well, I was able to wrap things up before, honey. Yes? Mona moves over. Mama Mona moves over. Here she comes now saying, Mona moves over. And places her hand on your forehead. She frowns as she notes how cool your skin feels to her touch. Are you feeling well? About as well as can be expected. I thought your dad was over-exaggerating about your condition, but I see he was telling the truth. What did he say? That you're a crackhead? Mona gives a single shake of her hand and a wave of her head and a wave of her hand. Ugh. Now I'm screwing it up without the text even helping me. It's not important. I'm just glad to see my baby again. Mona wraps her arms around you and gives an immense hug, actually lifting you off the ground for a few seconds before putting you back down. Oh God, she's got the super strength too. She was cursed on as well. A little bird also told me you were seeing someone special. Let me guess, Dad blabbed. Oh, don't think so badly of your father, considering he's a big fat bird. You know, like a turkey. Considering. Never mind. I heard you were dating Victor Hammond. From the tone of her voice, you detect some disapproval from your mother. I gather you don't like him? Sorry, I really don't know him, so I shouldn't judge. However, I do know his father. A little friction there? Yes, but I promise not to say anything as long as the boy treats you right. Sighs. Something wrong? No, I just realized how much you've changed over the last few years. You're a grown woman. Geez, Mom, now you're embarrassing me. Oh, kids, they undie so fast. It's even harder considering this is the last birthday we'll share. The fuck? Oh, I will be here next year. Oh, I know you will, but by then you'll be dead. The fuck? You freeze in your place as Mona puts a comforting hand on your cheek. Oh? It just wouldn't be right to celebrate a birthday when you're dead, don't you think? Birthdays are for the living. Mom, what are you saying? But don't worry, honey. We can make a new day. Maybe we can celebrate your death day. In fact, I got you a couple of things already. Mona goes into the kitchen and then comes out holding two items. One is a brightly colored box in blue wrapping paper with a giant red bow. The other is a small plate covered with a small metallic dome. Here you go, honey, and remember, no matter what happens, your mother will always love you. Open the present. Open the metallic dome. Back away from your mother. And her jazz hands. Back away. Back away slowly. You look at your mother's hands, and that's when you notice a small pool of liquid at her feet. It is dripping from the plate, and you can tell that it is blood. This stirs a hunger in your belly, and you find yourself looking at your mother in a new, famished light. What's wrong, honey? You start edging backward, trying to keep your distance. Mom, I need to... I want to get away. I want to fly away. Yeah. Oh my god, did I just quote a Lenny Kravitz song? Shoot me in the damned head. Mona frowns and sets the present and plate down. I was afraid of that. You prefer something more fresh. She rolls up a sleeve, exposing a length of arm. Here you go, honey. Beep, beep, beep. Your eyes open, and you're never so glad. Oh, God. Apostrophes, that's the wrong you're. You're killing my English major self. So glad to go through the beeping of an alarm clock. You take a quick look at the clock and you fall back down with a relieved sigh that today is actually the expected date. Okay, it's Sunday. I guess we should probably just relax. Kick that last little bit of stress out. Okay. So we save here. And then we go back. And we keep things as they are. I'm wondering how much longer this will go on, but I think a big part of it is keeping the stress low. Today was an odd day as someone tried to pay for their bill in gold doubloons. Fortunately, they could pay for their food in nickels. Gold doubloons. You're chilling in the bedroom with a mirror in the bathroom, taking a respite from your day's labors when you hear a loud voice from downstairs. Caitlin, you have a guest. Be right down. You pause to look at yourself in the mirror and take a moment to get your hair under control. Yeah, because your hair is really the big concern here. Who would be visiting me this time of day? Satisfied with the end result, you rush down the stairs and you find Victor standing in the doorway. right next to Solitude, standing in the doorway, talking with your father. Good God, how many song jokes am I going to make during the course of this? Caitlin, you have a ghost? Let's not rule that out at this point. Meanwhile, Nick is taking a moment to sniff Victor's leg, unsure of what to do with the intruder. So you're Caitlin's new boyfriend. It's nice to finally meet you. The pleasure is all mine. Polite, too. I admit for a while there I thought you might have been imaginary. I'm afraid I've been really busy, sir. Please call me Joshua. Okay, so, Joshua. So, I didn't catch your last name. Hammond, Joshua. Your stepfather's closes the... Now even the possessives are wrong. Oh my God. Closes his eyes and rubs his chin. Would you happen to know a Harold Hammond? That's my father, unfortunately. Unfortunately. He and I aren't on the best terms. Good, good. Word of warning, if you meet Caitlin's mother, don't mention your last name. There's some bad blood there. Oh, she told us that last night in the dream. Trust me, my father has that effect on a lot of people. Joshua seems to notice you standing there, and there is a slight twinkle in his eye. He couldn't dance with another when he saw you standing there. Good Lord, they're just coming to me left and right here. Don't worry, I didn't give your boyfriend the third degree, at least not this time. You shake your head and give a slight chuckle. Then you step toward Victor while your father leaves the room to give you privacy. What brings you by? Not that I'm complaining. I have some news, and I thought you would want to hear it. All right, but not here. Then from the corner of your eye, you see Nick, finished with his examination of Victor, start to raise his leg, correct your dog, see what happens. See what happens when Nick pisses on a living generator. Okay, correct him. Have you met my dog Nick? We've renamed him Tesla Coil. Okay, we correct him. Okay. There we go. Nick, go lie down. Raise a paw and whimpers. Oh, look at those eyes. Who's a good boy? You are. Yes, you are. Pissing all in my shoes like that. Rough. Shakes head. Looks like he has another conquest. The two of you walk out of the house and walk into the night-shrouded woods. Victor is smiling, enjoying being at your side. So when do I get to meet your parents? I think it's only fair since you just met my dad. Whenever you want, if that's what you want. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were ashamed of me. I know I don't exactly look my best. That wouldn't matter. Well, to my dad it would, but not my mother. I'm just worried that if you saw them, well, you might change your mind about me. Victor, I like to be with you. If you don't wish for me to meet your parents, then I won't push you. Whoop. You feel a surge of strength course through you and momentarily see a bit of red in front of your eyes, but it leaves just as quickly as it came. You feel a hand pressed reassuringly into the small of your back. Not that now would be a good time to do so. I understand. So you said you had some news? Good, I hope. Actually, it is. I found someone who knew about your condition. He confirmed you were cursed. Well, I'm glad that it wasn't just in my mind. I never for a moment thought you were making it up. I know, I was just thinking of... well, it doesn't matter. So if this person knows about my state, he says it can be reversed. However, he will have to see you personally. That's great. When can I see him? Not until next week. Next week again? You feel a second wave of anger flash through you at being so close and yet having another delay. Victor, ouch! You look down and see that you're crushing Victor's hand with your building strength. Immediately you pull it back. You pull back. Sorry, I don't know what came over me. That's one of the symptoms. As the curse progresses, you lose more control until you become a mindless beast. Like Jennifer in Splatterhouse 3 if you don't beat the boreworm in time. You feel a chill travel down your spine, and this at least is enough to dissipate the unwanted rage. But this can be fixed, because if it can't, well, remember your promise. It won't come to it, I swear. The two of you come to a stop, and silence fills the wooded area. The wounded area? Jeez. Hesitant at first, Victor slides a hand around your waist, then pulls back until you reciprocate the gesture. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Don't apologize. You don't want to lose a limb. I get that. Victor gives out a wry chuckle and leans a bit more into you. You stand like that for a few more minutes when you notice Victor looking skyward. See anything interesting? I don't see any butterflies up there. It's a shame there isn't one among the stars. It's been a long time since I looked up at the night sky. When I was younger, well, I used to sneak out of the house and climb onto the roof to look at the heavens. So underneath that geeky exterior beats the heart of a romantic. I like that. So what were you looking for? I was just thinking of what constellations we would be. And what would you be? Big Dipper? Blushes, Virgo. That's nothing to be ashamed over in me. Fred? Victor? I don't want to say. What came to your mind? Cancer? Yeah, that's my astrological sign, and 2016 when I actually got cancer, yeah. I am, however, from Maryland, and I can enjoy a good crab cake or cream of crab or crab pretzel. But yeah, cancer. Oof! A surge of anger greater than anything else you felt courses through you, and you give a shove with your arm. There is a sound of a crack, and Victor lies flat on the ground, holding his stomach. Oh, Lord. This time you can almost taste Victor's fear, and on some level part of you welcomes it, and then you notice him staring at you. Your eyes. Run away, help Victor up. Yeah, this is getting hardcore. Well, the difference is we're not dealing with an asshole like Rocco. Help him up. You move to help Victor up, but he shakes his head and with his other hand keeps you away. I can get up myself. With a slight grunt, he gets back up, but you notice him warily keeping his distance. That's never happened before. Not quite true. I know, it's the curse. I think I should leave for now. That would probably be for the best. Victor gives you a sad smile and then heads away, a slight limp in his walk. Ooh. You and Victor went to a new site today, radiation and decontamination, extra limb. Wednesday, you felt a general tiredness in your bones. Right now, rest will be welcome, though you can't help but wonder if you're the figment of someone's dream, dreaming about being a figment of someone's dream, dreaming about a spinning top. Well, it's nice and overcast here. That's not good. More and more you find yourself wandering through the park with your free time, and today is no exception. However, instead of sitting on a bench and perhaps feeding the birds, you are in the mood for another stroll. One thing you can't avoid is how people shy away when they notice your approach. You don't know whether to be amused or irritated by the small handful who make the sign of the cross before they leave your presence. Then you hear some voices, one of which is vaguely familiar from behind a thicket of tall bushes. Normally you wouldn't be able to make out what they're saying, but your senses have been more acute lately. How much longer do we have to wait out here? I told you, Mark, if not today, then tomorrow. Oh, Lord. This isn't going to end well, is it? From your previous altercation, you recognize Rocco's voice, so the first one must be the man named Mark. Fine, fine, but after this we're even, you hear? I don't owe you any more favors. Loud and clear. Now be quiet. I think I see them. Rocco goes quiet, and a quick glance through the bushes reveals he has another man by his side. Both are definitely looking in your direction. Wait, your problem is a woman? Yes, is that going to be an issue? Look, I've done a lot of things, but I don't hurt women. Trust me, she's much tougher than she looks. You can always back out now, but if you do, don't be surprised if the police get a little bit of information. Ooh, so, fine, let's just get this over with. What a beautiful piece of work Rocco is, and oh, he looks like a real charmer, too. The bushes rustle, and soon 2 men are standing before you. The voice you recognized is Rocco, the man you encountered in the park before. The other man is completely unknown to you. Hello, what brings you out on such a glorious day? Mark glowers over in Rocco's direction, your greeting obviously putting him at a slight disadvantage. Don't be fooled, I swear she is as vicious as they come. Rocco, this just isn't right. Look, I really don't know who you are, but I have no quarrel with you. Is this something you really want to do? Mark seems to be wavering, and then Rocco steps beside him and whispers in a voice that you can still hear. The police, remember? So it is to be an ambush. I haven't done anything to you. You embarrassed me in front of my girl. That's what this is about, your pride? You damn near broke my ribs. That demands a little payback. This little lady, are you sure? For the last time, yes, my ribs are still cracked. I guess I don't know my own strength. Both men start to circle around you, and from their coordination, it is evident that they worked together before. Mark has his fist balled up, but you see Rocco reach into a pocket and pull out a knife. Oh boy. Rocco, what are you doing? You can't take any Yes, sage advice, never take any Before Rocco could finish his sentence, you moved with a speed greater than you felt before and brought the man down. Within seconds, he is lying on the ground unconscious. You take the opportunity to kick the knife into the bushes. However, you are still left with Mark. Wow. Look, I don't have any beef with you. Let me go, and let's call it a day. Knock Mark out, let Mark go, demand Mark's money. Let him go. I'm feeling nice this morning. If you don't cause any more problems, you can go. You're a little surprised when Mark gives a slight bow. Thanks, ma'am. Mark gives one glance at Rocco, shakes his head, and disappears into the brush. Since now, apparently. With Rocco laid out on the ground, you decided it's time to move along. Not that you are scared of another ambush, but rather of yourself. While Rocco was unmoving, there was a part of you that wanted to bend down and tear his throat out. You can almost imagine how yummy his flesh would taste. You shake your head, try to put this thought out of your mind, and finish the walk. You wonder if you should get up or not, then you notice Nick sleeping by your side, head resting on your leg. He looks so peaceful, it would be a shame to disturb him. Well, let's see what's going on Friday. You start to awaken, though you're still a little groggy as your body, oh God, clings to the last vestiges of sleep. You start to stand when, thump. Almost instantly you lay back down with an immense pain in your head. You couldn't go more than a foot before discovering a barrier to your rising. That's when you realize you are in a very confined space. You try to move from one side to another, but find there is maybe 6 inches of emptiness before you hit another impediment. Yeah, exactly. Hello, darkness, my old friend. The other thing you notice is just how dark it is. Even though your vision in the dark actually improved, it still required some ambient light, and where you're at, there is nothing. You can still see yourself just fine, apparently, but nothing else. Can you see my mouse pointer? How many mouse pointers am I holding up? Hesitantly, you find there is at least enough room to reach into your pocket and pull out your cell phone. Wait, isn't that the one you crushed before, so I guess you replaced it? I don't know. You fumble around in the dark for a few more minutes until you manage to turn it on. The light confirms your suspicion that you are in an enclosed metal box, a coffin. Yeah, apparently they bury you with your phone nowadays. Yell for help, try to lift the lid, pound on the lid. Okay, pound, lift, yell. Okay, we're all on different moods here, so let's see, so who hasn't voted? Gilgamesh. Okay, so lift it is. You find that lacking the room to stand, you can only lay back down. You extend your hands upward and push with all your might. You manage to get the lid a fraction of an inch, but you can't move it any further. Oh yeah, and she is buried vertically from this, what it looks like here. Looks like she's in an elevator shaft. You slump back down and stare listlessly at the ceiling, and with one thought clear in your mind, they buried me alive. Guess again. You're trying to think back to the previous night, but other than getting ready for bed, nothing else comes to mind. Then another part of your mind casts some doubt on this. What if I really am dead? Then why am I still moving? However, like memories, no answers are forthcoming either. Then you remember your cell phone. You look at the screen to try and place a call, but find your entire account has been closed. After all, if I'm dead, then what need would I have for a phone? Yeah, I mean, you know, if anybody needs to get in touch with you, they'll just pull out the Ouija board. You don't know how long you stay quiet, your mind racing through the options at your disposal. Wearily, you don't see any way out of your dilemma. No. You look around to see where that voice came from, but there is obviously no one to be seen. Okay, I'm definitely cracking up. No, you can be free. Really? Yes, all you have to do is let go. Let go. Let go of control. You can get out, but you have to let go. Hesitantly, you take a few more minutes to think. This will really free me? Yes, you may not like the results, but if you free me, then I'll free you. Do it. Oh boy. Suddenly you feel an immense rush of anger coursing through your body, and you let loose a primal growl. Then you start hammering the lid of your coffin with both fists. At first you don't seem to be making headway, but soon dents start to appear. Despite the power of your strikes, you don't seem to feel any pain. There we go, just a few more hits. There is a loud clatter as the lid finally breaks, and then you get a gagging feeling as dirt suddenly falls upon you. For a few moments it feels like you were going to drown in a soiled heap, but you manage to close your mouth before anything else enters it. Great, trapped in a coffin but got out. Now I'm trapped in a rush of dirt. No, now is the easy part. But I'm going to run out of air. Who said you need air? Sure, if you wish to talk, but otherwise, why bother? While you mull on this, you somehow find yourself rising upward, your hands and arms somehow managing to gain purchase in the dirt. After what seems to be like an hour's worth of digging, you find no more resistance, and your hand breaks the surface of the ground. Oh boy. Somehow you manage to wiggle your way out, and when you do, you are face to face with a tombstone. You were born in 19XX, it appears. Victor, I heard it was a lovely funeral. Victor? Wait, I had a funeral? You were there? Shakes his head. I wasn't able to be there. What? Why? 1, I knew you would be back. 2, I had to prepare. Prepare? Victor pulls out what looks like a gun and aims it in your direction. Yeah, I totally see a gun there. What are you doing? Victor pulls the trigger, and an arc of bright light flies out of it and slams into you with the strength of a thunderbolt. Interestingly enough, you feel no pain, however you find yourself unable to move. Just as I suspected, you are completely immobilized. Excellent. You try to look at Victor, but not even your jaw can move. Sorry I couldn't save you, but we should look on the bright side. At least I have a new specimen to examine. Whoa, what? For my first experiment, I think I should stay with the classics and see how you respond to fire. Prichter. Your eyes open and you find yourself on your bed once more. You sigh and look up toward the ceiling and wonder when these nightmares will end. I can give you an idea. Gold doubloons. Okay. So, we are on Saturday, but we have already run over stream time. So, we are going to go ahead and save there. And we will actually have more to do. This game kind of amazes me as to how much things keep going, but we keep clinging on to life. So, I'll toss over when we'll play this again, but we will see this through to a conclusion at some point. So, may all of you have the most pleasant of dreams until we game again. This episode's Undead Languages were made possible by Mike Panza, Rick in Baltimore, Viceroy Scorn, Diote, Jumpy Cat, Shin Majin, the post-production contributions of Matthew Carr Anderson, and all my gulmatically proper lycanthro fans. Thank you very much for your continued support. Until we game again.